Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this afternoon, Ed Montana. Alongside me today, my Sunday fun day brother, Alex. How you doing, buddy?
I'm not doing well, actually. I forgot my hat.
Oh my goodness!
Now everyone's got to look at my funky hairline that I have. I mean, I'm competing with LeBron James here. This is how bad it's looking.
I think you're winning.
I
Take that however you want.
Yeah, my hairline's winning. I feel naked, bro. I left the house and I'm like, 10 minutes into the drive here, and I'm like, oh shit.
I used to wear hats all the time, and then all of a sudden I stopped, and I've just never gone back.
No, yeah.
But I don't have the kind of hair restoration problems that you have.
Well, that's because you have hair to cover up the 5 fingers of a forehead that you have.
You mean the five head?
The 5 head?
The 6 head going? What do you call it? Look, you're doing it to yourself.
Yeah.
I have some sympathy in the fact that you're balding like an eagle, but I kind of don't. Look, man, you gotta let it.
Hey, man, it's part of life.
Well,
it's part of life.
I am dealing with a different part of life, right? Mine is turning white. I constantly look really like I'm scared.
Yeah, dude. Holy cow! You do need to wear a hat.
I say if you have it,
flaunt it.
Flaunt it. It doesn't matter what color it is, as long as you have it, right?
I hear you.
Right? So, the big NBA news this week is...
Summer League. Yes, let's get into some Summer League talk.
They've got lines. I have occasionally, maybe, I was told by a friend, done some gambling online.
Oh, okay.
A friend told me one time that you can do that.
A friend of a friend?
Yeah, so I'm asking for a friend.
Gotcha.
They've actually got lines for Summer League games. Here's my question. When are you going to move out of your mother's basement if you're betting on Summer League basketball games? Really?
They must be scouts betting that. I mean, on the Summer League. Who in their right minds bets that?
How much of a degenerate gambler?
Or do you just... I guess a gambler just... Right? It's full of taking chances, and I'm sure you don't watch the games. You just say, hey, here's whatever amount on this team, and
it makes
close your eyes and
it makes you watch the game, right? Maybe if we put a couple of dimes on it. And I do mean nickels and dimes, like the ones that clink and stuff.
Right, yes.
If you put a couple of dimes on it, it might make you watch that Phoenix Sacramento Summer League game.
That was a barn burner. You didn't watch it?
I just made it up. I don't know if they played or not.
I think they did because they had the top two. It had the top 2 picks of the draft in there. Which
there you go.
Which I don't think I even know their names, but they were in there.
You think LeBron watches them at all and goes, so DeAndre Ayton is at the Summer League, right?
Right.
For Phoenix.
Right.
And, they're in the West. LeBron's going to play. You think LeBron, he watches a little Summer League? He's checking out DeAndre Ayton. He's not very good off the pick and roll to his left. And,
Yeah, absolutely not. I don't think he's worried about him, not one bit. Not one bit. Besides that, it's been kind of quiet on the NBA forefront, right?
Yeah.
The one thing that kind of annoys me is the whole... I was corrected on this by someone... Kawhi Leonard, not Kawhi.
It's not Kawhi?
Is it Kawhi? Kawhi.
No, I thought it was Kawhi.
Kawhi. Whatever.
Kawhi.
K. Leonard. It annoys me that
Mr.
Leonard.
Yes.
Has not... I'm not even going to call him Mr. He doesn't... No. Dude, just come out and say something. Just something. Do you want to play for the Spurs? Do you feel like there's a chance that you're going to work things out with the Spurs? Stop being a robot and just come out and say something. You know what I mean?
But isn't that in and of itself the San Antonio way? Like they're just not. They're not big media people, and I think he's. Whereas before I didn't think he was going to be gone. I thought they would patch it up and work it out. Now I'm starting to go the other way. Tony Parker signed with the Hornets, I think.
Yeah.
So it feels like the guys are just like, screw it, let's all go do our own thing. And, quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if Pop just said screw it and retired.
Yeah, they should not let him retire.
You gotta wonder what you gotta wonder what happens after you have an iconic coach like that. Like, what's gonna happen to the Patriots once Belichick retires?
Oh, I can tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna have a top 5 pick for probably the next 5 years. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Who, the Spurs or the Patriots?
Both. Whenever Mr. Brady and Belichick. Yes, absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
not necessarily.
Come on, man. They're the head of that.
Yeah, but you think
team.
it's going to just crumble when they leave? You don't think they're going to leave some kind of framework in place that you can bring someone else in, someone from that tree to kind of keep it going?
Yeah, I think we've seen that the tree thing. Let's see how Mike Patricia takes part of that tree to Detroit, and let's see how that works out. I just don't. That usually never works, or it doesn't work like as you think it would or should, right?
Right.
It's just not the same as having their voice. It's something about their voice.
They are tremendous figures, right?
Yeah.
In those organizations. So yeah, there's no telling. So yeah, nothing else. It's like I told you last week. I hate to sit here and tell you that I was right, but I was. We're going to get a bunch of 1 year, $2.4 million. That guy's getting $2.4 million. Yeah. That's what we're going to get. Did you hear that? Speaking of which, Zach LaVine got an offer.
Cow.
I think he's going to end. I think Chicago ended up matching it or beating it.
No, they matched it. So
4 years.
84 or 74?
78?
78? Somewhere around there.
4 years and a whole lot of millions for a guy that ain't that good. Almost makes me want to stretch my son out some.
Bro. What is it? Put the trash cans on your knees? Is that what they say?
Good grief. That's amazing that he got that much money.
I mean,
he's not that good.
Yeah, he's not he's not that good.
He's this year's Carlos Boozer.
$20 million a year. Now, I think the biggest news out of this week
you know why he got that, right? He didn't have the ace up his sleeve like DeMarcus Cousins did to get 1 year, $5.3 million to play for the Warriors.
He needs to learn how to play a little poker.
Checkers, not chess, bro.
That's what
chess,
it comes
not
down
checkers.
To.
Whatever.
Actually, this is pretty big news. I believe the Thunder are buying out Melo, right? So they're gonna save some money there.
So now we're gonna have the Melo sweepstakes.
Where
will Melo go?
Bro, he needs to go somewhere where he's just going to get fed the ball 30 times and just score. There's no way a team no way a team like the Lakers or the Rockets need to sign this guy. There's no way, bro.
Well, no, definitely not the Rockets because the Rockets are a serious contender.
But that's the talk, right?
There's some. I mean, he could go to the Lakers because the Lakers. I'm sorry, the Lakers to me are still not a serious contender. It's still LeBron James and a bunch of other players
and the cast.
Yeah, this is West Cleveland. That's all this is, right? I mean. They brought in Rajon Rondo, which okay, they've got the whole ball soap opera that goes on out there. And I just don't, So yeah, he can go to the Lakers. I mean, that'll be fun. It'll be fun. It'll give him something to talk about. It'll put the Lakers in the news. I mean, I just don't. I really am not understanding the move. I guess we'll find out eventually, but I'm still not really understanding the move for LeBron. I'm really not understanding why he's doing it. What's the point of going out west?
Well, I guess he already did what he had to do in Cleveland, got them the championship that he came back home and promised them. So now maybe this is a different challenge for him. I mean, maybe
he light a fire under his butt.
Maybe the challenge of
he looked so unmotivated last season.
He did.
He looked so unmotivated the last 9 years.
I mean, the challenge of carrying this garbage Cavs team is too much for him. That's a challenge, bro.
He's got the same challenge in LA. It's just ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous.
Did you see Tyronn Lue had called Luke Walton to teach him or to tell him how to coach LeBron?
Didn't he just say start every sentence with Your Royal Highness LeBron?
I mean,
isn't that the only tip you need, right? And you bow beforehand.
I thought LeBron coached Lou. You know, and I wonder how that's going to work out, man, because Luke Walton doesn't...
Didn't they get drafted in the same draft?
Yeah, they did.
I mean, they were just a few picks apart, right?
And now...
Like 50?
And now one's coaching the other? Or which one's coaching who?
Well, I mean... Look, if LeBron was coaching Tyronn Lue, he's going to coach Luke Walton as well.
Yeah?
You think LeBron goes into coaching after his NBA career?
Might as well. He's got the resume already.
Can you see that job interview? LeBron, you don't have any experience coaching. He's like, bro, I just got done running the Lakers for 4 years, and before that I ran the Cleveland Cavs.
Yeah, I ran him straight to the ground.
We're giving LeBron too much airtime for a nothing week. Look, the only real sports news that's going on, well, I shouldn't say that. There's always a lot of sports news, but I just can't get enough of this World Cup thing. I just can't.
Well, I mean, we're down to the final 4.
Do you ever get a little bit sad when you see this big tournament like this and you get towards the end?
Yes.
Like, I'm almost bummed out that we're to the semifinals.
It's like eating your favorite food and you get down to the last 2 bites and you're like looking at it and you're like, man, I really don't want to put these last 2 bites in my mouth because after this, there's no more.
Right, there's no more. Yeah, I agree. That's the way I view every single Big Mac I eat. I get to that last bite and I'm just like, damn, I love me some Big Macs.
I just put it in my back pocket and take it, eat it later on.
So the quarterfinals were yesterday and day before yesterday.
Yeah.
We had Uruguay, France. France looking every bit of the class of this tournament. I mean, they just look phenomenal.
What a letdown game, really. I mean, Uruguay didn't really. They didn't show up to me, man. I mean, they played a real just casual game.
They couldn't seem. The problem for them was, aside from missing Cavani, which wasn't, I didn't think was a huge deal because they put in Stuani, which I thought was a very good replacement. He's a very good player. Doesn't obviously have the name and cachet of Cavani, but is a prolific scorer in his own right. But they just never took control of the midfield.
No.
They could never get control of the midfield, and France controlled the midfield. And if you watch that game, it was like it was played in the middle of the field, but you could see it gradually coming more and more towards the Uruguay end. Mm-hmm. And they scored once, and they scored again, and Uruguay just had no response for it. France is a young team in a lot of ways, but man, they look like they've got a lot of poise, and they look the part of someone who could win this World Cup very easily. And I mean, at this point, with 4 teams left, I guess you can say that about everyone. Yeah. But France does look a bit special, and in my opinion, they have the breakout star of the World Cup. Every World Cup, we get one young guy who just plays incredibly well at this stage in this spotlight, and it's Kylian Mbappe, 19-year-old kid, plays for PSG, is absolutely going to get paid after this World Cup, and he just continues to be a shining star in this tournament. Really, to me, hands down, the breakout star of this tournament. I can think of one other that we'll touch on here in a bit, but
sure, at 19 years old, man, playing in the World Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely he has been, I think, hands down the breakout star.
Yeah, who did you pick in that game? You didn't.
I picked France. I remember I picked France.
You're so shit.
Yeah, I picked them. You don't remember?
Hey,
I picked France.
Look, you can get away with it.
2-0 I picked.
Yeah, you can get away with it here, but you know where you stand in our little pool with Jay, right?
Yeah. I stand all the way at the bottom.
You're not standing. You're laying down. So you can lie and withhold your picks here, but we know the truth.
Yeah, I didn't pick anyone for that game. I mean, it was. I thought it was going to be a lot closer than that.
I thought so too.
Yeah, but I was wrong again.
C'est la vie.
Yeah, and on the same side, you had Belgium and Brazil, which, boy, early on, it looked like Belgium was just going to break the game open fast.
Yeah, I think you and I even made this comment to each other. It looked like it was going to be 5-4.
Yeah.
I mean, Belgium went up 2-0, but Brazil had a lot of chances in that first half, and it looked like, oh my God, it looked like there were going to be goals galore because they were getting in. This is going to sound terrible. They were getting into each other's box with no problem whatsoever, and there were a lot of opportunities, and just missed deflections and just all kinds of stuff, and Belgium, I think. Belgium went in and played the game like they were confident that they could play with Brazil, which I thought was important for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got that own goal, which I think really sealed the deal for them mentally, that they could play this game, that they could compete with Brazil on this stage in a quarterfinal and win. And that's what they went out and did.
Brazil could have easily had 4 goals. I mean,
in that first half alone.
Well, and in the second half too.
Oh, it was amazing.
I mean, the amount of shots on target that they had was astonishing. It really was. I'm surprised more they didn't go in. But Belgium, Brazil has looked kind of shaky this World Cup, and Neymar hasn't been able to really, come through. I think as much as he should.
Yeah,
and part of it may be that his ankle is just not 100% yet.
Yeah, it's possible that he still has a nagging foot injury. To me, this World Cup is not a disappointment for Brazil, even though they lose in the quarterfinal. Mm-hmm. I think they did well in the group stage. They looked good. They tied one game, but they still look good. They looked good against Mexico. So overall, from a team perspective, I think it was a good performance for them. Look, they ran up against a team who's ranked third in the world. Right. It's not like they lost to Croatia or Russia,
Yeah.
They lost to the number 3 team in the world. They were number 2. Hey, 2 versus 3, that's a pretty good matchup. It happens. If they play that game 10 times, my guess is it ends up, 4-4-2, right? But I will say this, to me, Neymar was a disappointment.
Yeah.
And it may be the injury, but I do think a large part of it is the acting was he took it to a new level. I thought at one point that he missed an opportunity to act and get a call.
Right.
And I'm not saying that I'm encouraging him, but it was one of those plays. It was a play in the box where he went down, he got right back up. And I thought that if he'd have laid there for a bit, if he'd have just taken his time getting up and given the ref an opportunity to really think about it without the theatrics, that he might have gotten the penalty call. And I think
was this the one that he went and told the ref was signaling for the VAR, and he went over there and said no.
Yeah, I don't think the ref. I thought the ref signaled for the VAR, but then I watched the replay of the game, and I did not see him do the actual little square. He was doing something else with his hands. But yeah, I think Neymar actually rushed the throw-in, thinking that the VAR was to see if he dove, not to see if it was a penalty.
You mean flopped?
Flop, dove, whatever you want to call it. And so, again, and this just to me adds to the disappointment with Neymar that he has flopped and rolled and dived so much that he feels like he has to go the other way and may have actually hurt his team in the process. So now his concern is not just about playing the game and scoring goals and helping his teammates. Now he's actually concerned with his own cautionary stance in the game. Am I going to be cautioned or not? And I think if you've gotten to that point, I think you've developed a problem, right? Like, I don't know an alcoholic, but when I see one, I know it. And I think in this case, I think I've seen what a diveaholic is, and it's Neymar.
I wonder if they have kept track of how many feet or yards he's rolled this World Cup. I'll be interested to see that.
Yeah. And quite frankly, I think the Mexican coach did that to him. The Mexican coach went hard in the press conference after the game, talking about how much time it wasted and how ridiculous it was and how he wasn't on the field and all this other stuff. And I think it got in Neymar's head. And again...
And that's a good point, because maybe that's why he rushed that one.
Exactly.
And that's exactly right.
And to me, that's the disappointment of Brazil.
Yeah.
And as talented as they are, man, you just,
Well,
they're not playing the game. They're not using their talent for good, so to speak.
Well, hats off to Belgium because we talked more about Brazil than Belgium, and you know, I think Belgium deserves the credit for winning this one, not the lack of Brazil's missed opportunities. I mean, Belgium went out and they
played
won,
the game.
Yeah, they won this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
I agree with you, and it sets up as I've said, as has been my popular phrase during this World Cup analysis, a cracking semifinal. The youth and speed of France with the veteran presence and excellent goalkeeping and defending of Belgium. It's going to be fun to watch. That's going to be a hell of a game. I think, and I'm going to say it right now, I don't know if we're going to do predictions or not. I think Belgium's going to win. I think they're going to win easily because their experience up front and in that midfield, they'll be able to handle the speed of France. And France defensively, although very good against Uruguay, has shown holes throughout the process.
Yeah.
And you know, I think Belgium is going to get through.
Well,
Belgium is the highest scoring team in the tournament, I believe, at this point.
Well, there's a lot riding on this game, not only to play in the World Cup final, but you have Belgium going into the final. Jay has France going to the final. Yeah,
it determines who wins the pool.
So this is
our little pool.
Yeah.
Which, are you in the pool?
I am. I'm in the pool. I'm just not swimming.
Right, you're at the bottom.
Yeah, I drowned. Game over.
Yes. So the France-Belgium game will be a big deal for our cousin Jay and myself.
Yeah.
On the other side, you had England and Sweden. Man, that was a professional, tidy performance by England. Yeah. I mean, they walked out onto that field like, we are better than you. We belong in the semifinals. You do not. We're going to go out and we're going to do this for 90 minutes and we'll see you guys next time. And they took care of their business. That was a very professional effort.
There was this one play that they set up. It was like the perfect pitch inside the box, and then and forgive me, I don't know the guys' names, but the English guy.
That's the right name.
That's the right name. The English guy.
Yeah.
The English guy. The English muffin. He headed into the net, bro, for the goal. I mean, it was just a. I think
that was Was that the Dele Alli goal?
I think that was the second one.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, that's like equivalent to like a couple swing passes in the NBA, and then you throw it to the guy, 3-point line, and just. Three. I mean, it was just beautiful.
Yeah, and
artwork,
and it was like that all game long, really.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. We were talking earlier about breakout stars of this World Cup. The other breakout star is Jordan Pickford. That keeper for England has been fantastic. He has been an absolute wall back there. There were some good shots. There was one he pushed over the crossbar. That's typically the way I do it when it comes up high.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah, I like to just push it over the crossbar because I could catch it probably, but I like to play it safe, and I think it's easier to play a corner.
I use my head.
Do you?
I just jump straight up and just use my head.
That little itty bitty head. With
that's the explanation.
That's how it got.
Yes, the ball just kept hitting this side right here. Damn soccer ball.
I'm gonna stick to not heading the ball so that I can have a full head of hair. But yeah, they looked great. They look every bit the part of someone who belongs in the semifinal. And then they're going up against Croatia, who they beat Russia on penalties. They sent away the home side. I mean, I hate to say that any team at this point doesn't have a chance, but I just don't give Croatia much of a shot. I don't think they're as talented as England, or they're not playing as well as England at this point. And B, going through 2 games in a row of having to go to penalty kicks. Yeah. Now, that's an extra hour of soccer that they've played, plus the pressure and the emotional drain of penalty kicks. I just don't see how they're going to do it. Both of those teams were coming off games where they had played, it had gone to PKs, and they looked exhausted. Yeah. Those last, after Russia tied it in extra time, all of them just looked like, just get me off this field.
Yeah, they looked like they were just hanging on to the last bit of thread. Yeah. And I think the penalty kick saved both teams from just dying on the field. Seriously, I mean, they look like heat exhaustion. That's what they look like, man. Like,
And it wasn't that hot.
No,
By all accounts, that was because they have had some really hot games in this tournament, but that one apparently was not. So
yeah.
Now, hey, so we went to PKs again, which I think is a terrible way to determine who advances. Although I think the right team advanced. I think Croatia is better than Russia. So
right.
It's okay, but I still think it's the wrong way to do it.
Okay.
I've got an idea.
Oh God, what's the idea?
So, and we can do some kind of variety of this, but hear me out.
Okay.
You play 90 minutes. You're tied, right? You get 3 substitutions in 90 minutes.
Right.
And you're tied. You play an additional... The way it works now is you play an additional 30, right? And you get an additional substitution. I agree with that. But instead of 11 on 11, make it 9 on 9. And if you're still tied, you go another 30 minutes. You give them another substitution. You play 7 on 7.
Nah. That's too much soccer, bro.
Well, for those guys, but there's a whole bunch of other guys that are... I mean, think about it. You've taken 2 guys off plus the substitution. 3 guys now basically get their lives saved. And 8 guys, and one of them's the keeper, have to play the extra 30, which they've done in the past.
So they'll die.
Yeah, but they've done this in the past. Not a big deal. Where you really run into trouble is in that next 30, right?
Right. When you're down to 3.
Well, no, but think about it. 7 on 7. If your subs are part of those guys that are still out there, you don't have anyone that's been... I mean, you could, right? You could still have, right? Because 3, 1, and 1. So you have 5 subs of the 7, assuming the keeper stays.
Right.
You do have one guy that's, from minute 0, right?
Yeah.
But... 7 on 7, bro. And the field
is...
I mean, think about the fast break. Remember that goal?
It's a cornfield, dude.
Remember that goal that Belgium scored against Japan at the very end? Where it was like that fast break?
Oh, we'll see plenty of that.
The entire 30 minutes would be a fast break. Dude. I like my idea.
Yeah, see, I don't foresee fast breaks like that happening after 2.5 hours of soccer. What they need to do is...
Look, it is if you save a sub who is fast.
By that point, you already used that sub.
So, but again, I realize my plan... Look, this is in the beginning stages of my plan. I haven't presented it to FIFA. We can work on it. Not yet.
Okay.
We can work on it, right? Instead of going from 11 to 9 for 30 minutes, maybe we go 11 to 10 for 15 minutes and then 9 for another 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
No, screw that. Play with no goalie, half field, court.
11 on 11 still?
11 on 11.
Cut the field in half,
That's
no
it.
goalie?
Yeah.
Same size goal?
Same size goal.
Oh, I think I like that too. Because there's a lot of traffic,
exactly.
right? There's still a lot of traffic.
You're gonna have all the defensemen stand in front of the goal.
Yeah, that does no good because the goals are
right,
huge.
They're huge.
Yeah, so that wouldn't work. But you have enough traffic that you get a lot of deflections and stuff.
Or cut it down to 9 on 9
with half a field.
Yeah.
Nah, with no goalie.
No goalie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can't have a goalie. How many goals are you gonna have? That's not gonna work.
I kind of like that idea too. I don't like the fact that we don't have a goalie because, well,
you can't use your hands.
Well, no, but having a goalie is part of soccer, right?
Yeah.
Like part of my problem with deciding the game by penalty kicks is that if you're lucky, there's one penalty kick in a game. Now all of a sudden we're going to decide the whole game on this one thing, right?
Yeah.
That's my problem with it. So that's why I don't want to get rid of the goalie. But I think we're getting there. Fans of the Positive Sports Podcast, let's get on this case. If you guys have an idea on how to fix this stupid PKs at the end of World Cup knockout games, look, pretty soon they're going to 32 teams, so we're going to have 32 knockout games. So we have to come up with a solution sooner rather than later. If you want to get a hold of us, share your ideas with us, you can email the show at positivesports10@gmail.com. Positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to share your idea just with Alex, you can do so on Twitter. There's Alex on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho. If you want to share your ideas with me, you can reach me on Twitter as well at eMontana21. So now we have England and Croatia. I think England gets through relatively easily.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see Croatia presenting a threat. England has they're fast, bro. I mean, they just play a clean brand of soccer.
Yeah, they've done, and defensively they've been very solid.
Well, having a goalie like that pretty much helps.
And that guy's kind of come out of nowhere, but he's been phenomenal. He is also going to get paid. He's a young guy.
So your final?
England and Belgium.
England and Belgium. Okay.
We've got two teams. We've got two teams that have never won the World Cup. Two teams that have won the World Cup. It would be kind of interesting to see Belgium Croatia, because then you would get a first time winner.
Yeah.
I just don't see how Croatia does it.
Yeah.
Belgium, I think, has a better chance than Croatia. But then again, that's why they play the games.
Yeah, I'm gonna say England and France.
Yeah,
just to go opposite.
That's not a bad pick either, man. That's not
bad at all. They should both be good games. Hopefully, we get good games since we're near the end.
Yeah, and then it's 4 years before the next World Cup in Qatar.
Here's a solution. You play the 90 minutes.
Are we back to knockout phase?
Yeah, okay. You play 90 minutes. I'm sorry. You play 90 minutes.
I'm a little bit old. You gotta,
You play 30 straight minutes. Don't take a break. Okay. Don't split it up.
Okay.
If you're still tied after that, you play into the next score. That's it. Sudden death.
Well, yeah, that's what. Well, yeah, we've said that before. That's
Have
not. We? Yeah, that's kind of not that.
Yes.
That's not that innovative.
It's not, but I mean, it's a solution.
Yeah. No, I agree. I completely agree.
If you want to eliminate penalty kicks, personally, I don't have a problem with penalty kicks.
I want to get rid of penalty kicks.
Just don't watch.
I want to get rid of penalty kicks.
If the finals goes to penalty kicks, don't watch.
I don't want to watch penalty.
If you hate penalty kicks that much, don't watch.
I don't want to see penalty kicks, and I don't want to see the VAR, unless we're going to use the VAR all the time.
Yeah.
Let's use it on every single one of those corner kicks.
What else we got?
What else you want to talk about?
Well, I know there was some fights this weekend. I did not really watch them. I actually saw the last fight.
You're talking about UFC 226?
Oh, it wasn't WWE? I thought it was... Oh,
At the end, what are we talking about? At the end, it was WWE.
Oh, that was the end? Was it?
The part you saw was WWE.
God, look, that fight, props to Cormier. I mean, flat out just knocked the guy out, right? What's his name? Miritek?
Stipe Miocic.
Right, what Ed said. I mean, just one elbow. Was it an elbow? It looked like an elbow.
He caught him with a short
right
right hook.
And then just the guy fell and
he caught him just right. And then when he fell, he dropped 3 or 4. Hard bombs on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens.
Damn near put him to sleep. I'm not judging the whole card, but that last bit of Cormier getting on the mic, it looked so like it just looked scripted to me.
Yeah.
It was really a joke, I think. Lesnar had no business getting in the ring. How convenient he show up right before that fight.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I personally didn't like that. I'd rather have seen Vince McMahon come out and do the Vince walk, and then I just didn't like that. Yeah,
no, look, I completely agree with you. It really is a shame because I think it tarnishes a little bit of the card, and it tarnishes what Daniel Cormier had accomplished, minutes beforehand. Look, shit talking is a part of the show, and it's a part of what works for the UFC. Conor McGregor has proven that to the tune of $100 million to go box for crying out loud. So it works, and it's kind of a necessary evil. But to bring in a guy, this is the big problem, right? He's not shit talking another UFC fighter. He's shit talking someone who is technically not under contract with the UFC, although he obviously has fought for the UFC before. He's not even eligible to fight in the UFC for at least 6 months because he's not in the USADA testing pool.
Right.
And Why is that important, you ask? Well, he's failed a drug test before. So he's shit-talking a guy technically not under contract with the UFC, technically not eligible to fight for 6 months, who has already failed the test. So even if he fought him, who knows if the fight will happen because he's failed the test before. He may fail the test again, right? It's just, it's silly. And then to take it one step further and to get into a bit of a shoving match about it, it's just, it looks cartoonish.
Yeah.
And
at least walk up there with a mean face. Don't walk up there smiling, right? Because, I mean, that's how he entered the octagon.
Yeah, he entered the octagon smiling,
and then
he cussed him out. He called the previous champion, who, by the way, is still in the cage and is the most successful heavyweight champion the organization has ever had, calls him a piece of shit. Dude, until you can stop pissing hot, you don't deserve to call anyone a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just absolutely clownish in a sport that is still very young and in a lot of ways attracts a lot of people because of the respect that they have for each other as competitive athletes, as mixed martial artists, as whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of respect. There was a fight on that card earlier. Mm-hmm. Paul Felder against Mike Perry. And the way that fight came to be was Mike Perry's guy, Paul Felder was scheduled on another card to fight at 155, and his guy got pulled to go be on another card. Mike Perry was scheduled to fight on this card at 170. His guy dropped out a week earlier, and Paul Felder was left without an opponent. Respectfully, via Twitter, challenged Mike Perry. Mike Perry respectfully said, "Let's do this." They got on. They got in the cage. They had a war for 15 minutes. Shook hands, and in a very close decision, Mike Perry won. And that fight was absolutely what is right with MMA.
Right.
That is absolutely what is right with the UFC. That is exactly what is right with that production of a pay-per-view card. And then an hour later, you've got this shit show with Brock Lesnar and Daniel Cormier. And Daniel Cormier, in my opinion, kind of incited it. But Brock Lesnar just took it too far with the push and calling everyone a piece of shit and stuff like that. It's just silly.
So, I don't understand. Obviously, he's not eligible to fight, but it sounds like maybe one way or another he will automatically, all of a sudden, become legible to fight?
Eligible.
Eligible to fight?
Legible.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if he can read or not. So he may not be legible.
He may not.
So
I can't read him.
In the post-fight press conference, Dana White said he has gone through the channels to now be in the testing pool. But I don't know as of when he's in the testing pool.
Right.
So he would be eligible to fight 6 months after that date. So let's say he went in on Friday,
right,
and did all of his paperwork. He's eligible 6 months from Friday, which would put us at the end of the year roughly, or early January.
Yo, if John Bones Jones doesn't get a shot at Cormier before Lesnar does, there's something wrong.
Well, he's also in a dust up with USADA, right?
Okay.
So he's in. He may be suspect. He may be. Let me get this straight. I've heard this several times on another podcast. So he failed the test when he beat Cormier the last time.
Okay.
And he could get up to a 4-year suspension, which would take him well beyond the next 6 months, right? Because I think the fight was a year ago. But he's still negotiating and arguing and appealing. I mean, it's kind of a messy situation. He got popped for something that was in his system one day, but not the next day. But it's something that has a life.
So his situation is just going to get dragged out.
Yeah. It's cloudy, and there's a lot of hoops to go through there.
Well, I'd much rather see Jones and Cormier again than Lesnar.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't think... I mean, screw that. He's a steroid-taking freak. He belongs back with Vince at WWE. Go do that for your part-time and...
Go do that.
Get out of the UFC.
Yeah, I agree.
Your time there is done.
Yeah, and you know...
And I don't think the fans want to see him either.
Yes and no. You're right. The fans, the MMA fans, they don't want to see Brock Lesnar. Yeah. The problem is Brock Lesnar brings a lot of wrestling fans. Right. And that's the attraction of the guy. Look, that's why CM Punk got 2 fights in the UFC, because he was a wrestling star. He had never wrestled competitively. He had never done any kind of combat sports, but he said, "Hey, I'd really like to try fighting." And the UFC said, "What? You're a big star in WWE? Yeah. Come on over. We'll put you against another guy who's 0-0 and sucks, and you can get the brakes beat off you." Twice.
Twice. Oh, the last time was horrible.
Oh, that was a terrible fight. Anyway, so it's unfortunate that that's the way this UFC 226 card is going to be remembered, because the rest of the card was... There was one fight that was kind of boring, but the rest of it was a banging card.
No. Well,
people just beating a tar out of each other. Great stuff.
It's good for your adrenaline. Makes you probably want to...
Fight?
Not fight, but like just turn into the Hulk and... Not fight, just turn into the Hulk.
No, man. I'll tell you what, I do enjoy it quite a bit. I watch it. Typically go out, watch it at a bar or whatever. Come home, and I can't go to sleep for like another hour. So I end up just like surfing TV channels.
Like you just took some pre-workout?
Yeah, because I mean it's very exciting. And it's, look, the part of MMA that I truly, truly enjoy is it just, with those little 4-ounce gloves, man, it's one shot.
Yeah.
And it's, some guy could just wing it and knock someone silly. That's why I don't do it. I've got too much skill to put it all on the line for some crazy dude just winging one shot.
They pay me enough. I'll put it all on the line.
How much would they have to pay you to do an MMA fight? Seriously.
Seriously? $5 million.
$5 million?
Do you not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Yes.
$5 million.
$5 million. Yeah, $5 million. Why not?
Bro, it's like 15 minutes. You're gonna, if the worst thing that'll happen,
I'm gonna die. I need to leave something for my kids.
No, you're not gonna die from one shot.
I don't know, bro. It depends who I fight.
Well, you're gonna fight someone your own weight.
Oh,
it's not like you're gonna fight Brock Lesnar.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I still want $5 million.
I think I'd do it for less than that.
Less than that?
Yeah. Because here's the way I look at it. The worst thing that'll happen...
Do I get a rematch?
I don't know. I don't want a rematch. I want enough money to walk away. The 2 or 3 worst things that can happen, right? I could lose by knockout. That's just one knockout. My brain will be okay from one knockout.
Maybe knocked out for quite some time.
No, they're not gonna make me comatose, right? That would be bad.
Dude, this ain't wrestling, bro.
The other bad thing is you get caught like in an arm bar or a knee bar, and they pop your knee or break your arm. Yeah, no, I'd be tapping quick, but sometimes, those guys, they do those moves kind of quick. Sometimes you don't even know you're in it. And then 3, you get choked out. And so long as you have a good referee and a good opponent who's going to let go, there's really no permanent damage there. So I think I'd do it for less than 5.
Less than 5. So what's your number? 4.5?
$2 million? I think if someone offered me $2 million. Yeah, because you got to figure you got to pay about $1 million in taxes.
I like 5, so I'll go with 5. I got to get paid.
Yeah, look, if they offered me 5, it's not like I'd say no, right? Like if I went and I said, Dana White, hook me up with a fight. All right, here you go, $5 million to do it. Oh, no. I'd only do it for 2. I wouldn't say that, but
Say, Ed, you're a dumbass.
Yeah, I'd be like, would you corner me? Would it be like at the wing eating contest where you would look like, where you looked like nervous?
Dude, you seen Rocky 4? When Creed is in the ring?
Yeah.
And then, it's going in slow motion, like, throw in the towel.
Yeah, but by that point I'm dead?
No, I'll throw in the towel as soon as the bell rang, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Hey, here's the thing. What if they said to you, we'll give you $2.5 million to show and $2.5 million to win. And they put you in with another guy who is 0-0.
Yeah, I'll do it.
That you would do?
Yeah, I would do that.
It's always interesting to hear about. You hear about the contract disputes that these fighters have and how they get paid and stuff, and almost all of them get paid a show. They get paid show money and win money.
Huh.
And I find it interesting. Like, imagine if you went to work tomorrow and your boss said, "Okay, we're gonna cut your salary in half, but if you do a good job, you get the whole thing."
Yeah, see, no.
Yeah,
that wouldn't work.
Well, but it depends on how you look at it too, right? Because what if he said, "We'll give you this salary, but if you do a good job, we'll double your salary." Right? It just depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
It's another level of pressure, right?
Right.
Not only do I have to go in and fight this dude who wants to beat the shit out of me, but I got half my paycheck riding on this.
I got a mean headlock, bro. I think I could win. I'll make him submit on the headlock.
Oh my god, I don't know what I would do if you went in for a fight. Like, I don't think I could take. I think I'd have a heart attack.
If you went in?
No, if you to watch.
To watch me?
Like, I don't think I would be as scared for myself as I would be to watch you fight or my son fight or watch my daughter fight. God forbid.
No.
You know, like, I think it would make me a lot more nervous to watch a loved one fight than to actually fight myself.
I mean, I would. I don't know, dude. That'd be nerve wracking. Myself or to watch anyone that I knew.
Yeah, I think I'd be more nervous to watch you fight than for me to actually. Because I figure if I'm going in there, I've prepared. I could run away. I could do something.
Hey, I got really good climbing skills, bro. I will hop over that octagon.
I have hopped over a fence in my day. I could hop that
free.
I'd be out of that arena.
I'll be gone with the wind.
Bruce Buffer be like, and in this corner, oh shit, he's gone.
He's gone.
Out of the arena completely. Oh boy.
That would make up for some interesting pod talk the next day.
Where did you go? I got the fuck out of there. That's where I went.
Jeez.
So the hot dog eating contest was on Wednesday.
Controversy. Did they go to the VAR on that?
See, if they had a VAR there, I'm okay with using the VAR.
How? How do you mess up the count on how many hot dogs? You got the guy in front of Joey Chestnut, in front of all the contestants.
Yeah.
Then you got the pretty girl in the bag with the, all she's doing is flipping the number. I mean, how do you mess that up?
They missed a whole plate of hot dogs.
A whole plate. 10 hot dogs. I mean, these are not Oscar Mayers, bro. They're 10 hot dogs.
What do you call it? I will say this, though, and I don't know why they do it this way, but can you get a little more room? Do they have to be on top of each other like that?
I don't understand.
Like, I don't understand how Matt Stoney, the guy who's next to Joey Chestnut, came in second, I believe, or maybe not. I don't know. Why doesn't he just toss one of his hot dogs over there? I mean, they're close enough that when you're grabbing one hot dog, as you pick it up, you flick the other hot dog over onto his plate, and now you have one less hot dog to eat. No. And he's going to have to eat 11 to get credit for 10. You have to eat 9 to get credit for 10. Hey, that's +2 right there.
Yeah, because
it wouldn't have made a lick of difference, but still.
Hey, and you can't even see how many hot dogs because this is what they look like when they're shoving the hot dog.
Hey, I understand what you're trying, but you can't do that on the pod. They can't.
Oh yeah, they can't hear me.
That's
okay. If you want to see how Alex would do on the hot dog eating contest, make sure you watch this video. This is what I'm doing, like this. See? Oh, let me tell you something. When I'm 85 years old, Grandpa that participated on there gives me hope to be a participant one day. How old was that guy?
I think he was. I want to say 74, but maybe I'm just thinking the number of hot dogs. But he was in his 70s at least.
Bro, I know it ain't shout out time. Shout out to you. I wish I remembered your name. But God damn it, yeah, you did good.
That's incredible that he's
That's
doing
amazing. Jeez.
God, that's fun to watch. I do not get tired of watching that.
That was good. That was good.
That is good. All right, man. You want to wrap this puppy up?
Let's wrap it up. If
you go ahead.
Oh yes, shout out. No, shout out.
No,
see, I already gave my shout out.
No, go ahead. Say what you were gonna say. We'll do it twice. I don't care.
Nah, go ahead. Do your shout out.
No. Go ahead. I'm serious.
God. I don't have a shout out. That was my shout out. I wasted my shout out.
Oh, so I thought you were gonna say something completely different.
Well, no,
Not
I was gonna go ahead and give the the show info and all that.
Good.
But, well, if
they
you
forget.
You
I forgot.
I forgot too. But anyway, here it goes. If you want to email the show, if you got questions, comments, whatever it is, you can email the show at positivesports10@gmail.com. That's positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to reach out to me on Twitter, you can catch me at Brooklyn Gaucho. And also, stay tuned. If you're a subscriber to our show, we're going to have a giveaway. I'm giving away Ed. Who wants Ed?
That's not going to get us any listeners, man.
No, seriously though, we are going to.
Although I see my family cheering in the background.
They're like, yes,
Yes!
take him, somebody. No, but we are going to have a giveaway. Just stay tuned. We'll probably announce it in the next maybe 2 or 3 shows.
Cool.
Just listen on. Follow us on Twitter. Make sure you follow my brother on Twitter at eMontana21. He may disclose whatever the giveaway is. Just stay tuned and you won't be disappointed.
Excellent. Do you have a shout out?
I do not have a shout out.
Okay. I do have a shout out.
Bring it on.
My shout out is to Daniel Cormier. So as we've discussed a little bit earlier on in the show, Daniel Cormier defeated Stipe Miocic to win the UFC heavyweight championship last night at UFC 226. He did so by knocking him out in 4 minutes and 33 seconds of the very first round. But that's not why he gets my shout out. The story of Daniel Cormier is one that draws inspiration and really shows what hard work and grinding will get you. Daniel Cormier is a 39-year-old man competing at the absolute highest level in one of the most difficult endeavors there is. But he wasn't always that man. He was a young man at one point. He was a wrestler. He was a wrestler in high school. He won state championships. He went on to be a wrestler in college. And in college, he always finished second. He finished second to one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, a man by the name of Cael Sanderson. Then he went on to start his mixed martial art. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Then he went on to the Olympics. He made 2 U.S. Olympic teams. He came in 4th at the 2004 Olympics. In 2008, he was the captain of the U.S. Olympic team, but unfortunately was not allowed to compete due to a kidney problem during weight cutting. He's a man who faced a lot of adversity, but from there he went on and he went into MMA. He started off in Strikeforce. He actually thought he was too small to compete with the heavyweights. Went through their Challenger Series, eventually winning the Strikeforce Grand Prix heavyweight title. But again, he always felt like second. Everyone looked at him as a second place guy, not quite the best. He came over to the UFC, did not want to fight at heavyweight again, this time because he didn't want to compete against his good friend and training partner Cain Velasquez. So he went down to light heavyweight. He beat everyone in front of him, but he stumbled against one of the greatest fighters that we have right now, John Jones. But John Jones has had his issues, and therefore DC, as they call him, Daniel Cormier, is the light heavyweight champion, and well deserved, but always feeling like he's in second place. He's the champion who never beat the champion, but he keeps grinding. He keeps going. He's a fantastic family man. He coaches a high school wrestling team. He does great analysis work for the UFC on Fox, and he continues to train hard. He's part of a gym that's produced 3 world champions in the UFC in Luke Rockhold and Cain Velasquez. And if you ask those guys and you hear their interviews after those fights, they always attribute it to the assistance and coaching and mentorship of Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier continued to persist, continued to grind, continued to work hard. And last night, sure, he won. Absolutely. He won the UFC Heavyweight Championship. He's the baddest man on the planet. But let me tell you, folks, Daniel Cormier has been a winner for a long time. Not because he made it to the Olympics, not because he won state championships, not because he won in Strikeforce. He's been a winner because of the way he's acted and carried himself. He's a man of inspiration. He's a man that works hard and trains hard. And he's done so every single day for the last 20 years. 30 years, whatever that number is, I don't know. But it has been impressive. I am inspired by seeing this man's journey. And I think you should be as well. So my shout out today goes to Daniel Cormier, the new UFC heavyweight champion. But more importantly, a man of persistence and hard work and excellence. My hat's off to you. You have been an inspiration to everyone. A fantastic performance last night. But really, it's been a fantastic career. So my hat's off to you, Daniel Cormier.
Good job. Like it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And with that, we've come to the end of episode 26. We didn't talk about the number thing, but as I think about it, I can't think of one number 26 that's famous.
I actually cheated and looked it up last night because I was afraid. I'll throw two at you: Wade Boggs and Rod Woodson.
Oh wow!
I did think of Rod Woodson.
I didn't think of Rod Woodson. I didn't think of it. I couldn't think of any.
Yeah, that's a.
I'm gonna have to do my homework for 27 because apparently you're doing homework. You're cheating. But until then, I can't wait to see all of you for episode 27. As always, folks, ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.